Yo guys, what is going on? Got an UlforceVeedramon deck profile for you guys. This is featuring a lot of the new cards out of the All Force starter deck. So of course playing the new copy of All Force, just one. I don't think he's as good as the original one. The kind of goal of this deck is basically the same. You're just trying to get a lot of tamers on the field so you can attack multiple times with UlforceVeedramon. That being said, I do think there are a lot of other cards out of the new starter deck that are very playable. So for example, I got Dracomon here, who is a searcher for any Digimon with Dramon in its name. So that includes Veedramon, that includes AeroVeedramon, as well as UlforceVeedramon. So just making the deck even more consistent. You were already playing Rina, so Rina was already really good at revealing top 3 cards. Not only that, but you're also playing Davis. So then Rina plus Davis plus your blue memory boost here. This just makes it so that this deck is much more consistent, and you're just trying to get as many cards in your hand as possible, because as you guys might know, a lot of the new cards focus around having a certain amount of cards in your hand. So All Force here, once per turn, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you get to unsuspend him. And then I think one of the best cards out of the starter deck is the new AeroVeedramon, because he has that inherited effect. If you have 8 or more in your hand, he gets security attack +1, which is super powerful. Previously you had to rely on Weregarurumon to get that security attack boosting, but now you have a Digimon that can do that, plus his name is Veedramon, so it just synergizes with your deck much more. And then he also has jamming as a main effect, so that is really nice. And then aside from that, also playing the new Vmon, which lets you draw cards if you do have 7 or fewer cards in your hand. And then you also get to just warp into All Force potentially if your opponent has a 6 or higher on their side of the field. And then another new addition here is the Cordramon with the security effect of you get to play this card and then draw 2 whenever it's played. So that's it for the profile. Let's just go ahead and get into some gameplay. So as you guys can see here, that is my opening hand. I am also playing against what is arguably the best deck. I think it's the best deck come Battle of Omni. That is going to be Lord Nightmon. Now, how do I know it's Lord Nightmon? Well, because first of all, we're playing the Japanese format, so what other yellow deck would you be playing? But also we see the Pikmon in the breeding area, so I'm not sure how this matchup, well, I mean, I know how it turns out, but I initially, I wasn't sure how this matchup would end up going, because Lord Nightmon has a lot of removal. However, All Force kind of doesn't care. If you are playing a deck that is reliant on a lot of your tamers, I can just kind of play my tamers, set up my All Force in the back, and then when it's time to bring him out, I can just do that, and then just kind of keep him safe until the time is right. So I think that was my strategy going into this. My opponent, unfortunately, did just have to hard play the Nightmon for 7, so I think that put him back a little bit. But even then, he has the means to go into slash Anjumon to go into Lord Nightmon, and then we might see, who knows, like a Valder arm after that. So I definitely don't think it's enough to write him off just yet. So we are going to see that Nightmon, and then I'm also going to be able to set up quite nicely with the double V-Tamer tie, so then that will get me 2 extra attacks with the not with Lord Nightmon, you are messing me up, with the UlforceVeedramon that is currently in my hand. I also do have quite the number of inherited effects on my Digimon. I've got the Upamon, so if he did end up having a Digimon without a material, I get a draw off that. And then the AeroVeedramon, which does require me to have 8 or more cards in my hand, so I think that is what I'm trying to do, just get a lot of advantage going into this matchup. I'm going to play the blue memory boost, and then I get to add any blue Digimon amongst those cards to my hand, and then the following turn or any turn after that, I can just send blue memory boost to the trash and then gain 2 memory. So that is super nice. Now, my opponent does have the Lord Nightmon setup, which is very scary. Lord Nightmon is a crazy card that lets you play any warrior type Digimon or any yellow level 3 Digimon, so very versatile. And then not only that, but he gains 1,000 extra damage or DP for every Digimon in their play. So then he's just going to play the Lucemon, get recovery +1, swing at security. He is actually currently 13,000 right now, so he does not die to the All Force, and then getting the recovery from the Lucemon is pretty big. So then that puts him at a total of 6 security with 4 Digimon in play, and then he's going to get another one with the Pulsemon. Pulsemon is also a really powerful card because it's just whenever you play it, you get to draw a card. And then if you had 3 or less security, you would also gain a memory, but Anyway, so he's going to set up with that. Lots of Digimon on the field. I'm going to have to bring out my OFFICAL right now, because if I don't take care of something, I'm going to just end up losing, I felt like. So I'm going to go straight into Ulforce, because I was able to go to 4 memory with the memory boost, so that is super nice. Currently have 6 cards in hand, but we'll see what we can do about that. So I'm going to swing, get a draw off of the Upamon, because he does have a couple Digimon without materials. Swing into security, put him at 5. I do end up surviving. Now, the unfortunate thing here is I did not have enough ties or enough attack boosting powers to get over the Lord Nightmon. Lord Nightmon has that effect during both players' turns, which I think is really crazy. So he is currently at 14,000. So even with both ties, I will only be able to put Ulforce at a total of 13. So I was able to draw a card off of that. And then now that I have 8 or more, I get the security attack +1 from the OFFICAL. So that is super cool. I'm going to suspend another tie, draw another card, and then I'll be able to unsuspend Ulforce again, and then potentially attack another time. I did also gain a memory the first time I unsuspended him via Ulforce's effect, so I'm going to hit him for another 2 security cards. So you can tell that this Ulforce combo is very, very fast, and I was a little bit skeptical at first when I was looking at a lot of these cards. I was like, well, they require you to have so many cards in hand, but honestly, with all the draw power Blue has, and especially with things like Tai and Rina, that'll just get you free pluses to your hands, I think this is a pretty viable strategy. So anyways, I swung at him, taking out 4 security cards, fully realizing that Lord Nightmon was probably going to kill him the following turn, but I am hitting some godly security here. So he's going to swing into security. I'm going to hit Davis, so then that guarantees me 3 memory next turn, and I get the bonus search effect. And then he's going to swing again with the Pulse Bot. I'm going to hit another Davis. So then I'm going to reveal another 3 cards off the top of my deck, and then add any of those blue Digimon. I'm going to take the BT1, I believe, the Veedramon that gets to attack twice as secret rare. You guys know which one I mean. And then unfortunately for him, he does not have enough damage to kill me. And then here we go. We got the Cordramon. That came in clutch. Oh my god. You guys will see in a little bit, but that was super powerful, because then I get to just draw 2 cards and I have a free champion on the field. And then he's just going to swing with the Kodamon there, taking out my last security card. Since the Gladiamon was played this turn, he does not actually get to attack with that. So unless, like, if he had the Bushi Agumon or something, he probably would have been able to game me. Like, he would have been able to game me for sure, because nothing in my security, like, just straight up, like, kills anything. I'm not playing any Cocytus Breaths or any removal cards. He's just going to pass, to put me at the fewest amount of memory, I guess, possible, because maybe he didn't have another rookie or something he could play. I'm going to start with 3 because of Davis regardless. I'm actually going to go to 5 because I do have the Sora Joe, and he does have a couple of Digimon without material. So that's going to put me at 5, and then I'm just debating here what to do. The only way I can just straight up win this turn is by attacking with Cordramon. It has to survive, and then I go OFFICAL to unsuspend it and attack again, because otherwise I could go like Vmon and then go Ulforce afterwards, but I'd have to pass turn. But we get there, we got there, boys. So I'm just going to attack with the Cordramon, go into OFFICAL. OFFICAL has the effect where when he's digivolved, if you have Blue Tamer, you can just unsuspend him, or anyone in your Digimon. I'm going to attack for game. So that was pretty sick. I thought that was a really cool combo, albeit extremely lucky, because I literally had like god tier security. I don't know what it is about Blue. If you guys know Rust Marrow, he's another Digituber, and he has all the best luck when it comes to Blue security. I don't know what it is about Blue, but anyway, so that's going to be game 1. Somehow won over Lord Nightmon, and then I think I drew 7 cards. I don't know what I was doing, so yeah, I started with 7 for some reason, so please forgive that. Maybe that's influences this later on, but anyway, so I'm just going to Digivolve into the Veedramon, and then play Tai, and then play Sora Joe, and then putting my opponent at 4 memory, but I do potentially, I want to set up Sora Joe because it's another tamer that you can suspend whenever Ulforce attacks, so that's really good. And then potentially, if he plays a Pulsemon or a Lucamon or something, then I can get the +2 memory off of it. But no, he's just going to Digivolve Sirenmon so that I don't get that 2 memory, and then play the TK. So he did actually get the TK this time, and then he's going to grab something, a Pulsemon, yep. So we did also see him grab the Nightmon, I believe it was, off of the Gladymon effect. Gladymon's a very situational card. I honestly don't think it's like that good, because you can only, it's a TK, but you can only grab warriors, right? But I mean, it's good if you have like Lord Nightmon security or something, but I just feel like TK is like better in basically every situation. Anyways, I'm going to bring out the Veedramon. I'm going to suspend Ty so that I can draw a card, and I'm thinking like if he has Lord Nightmon, he would have to have, in order to get rid of my Veedramon, he'd have to have Lord Nightmon, and then like he has the Nightmon, so he'd have to have both of those, and then like a slash Angemon on top of that or something to like fully just get rid of my Veedramon. So even if he does, I don't care that much because I do have the follow-ups in my hand. I can go into Arena and then maybe get some searches. I can Digivolve Vmon and stuff like that. So I'm just going to end my turn by playing the blue Memory Boost, which I think is just such a good card. I think it's honestly probably going to be a staple. I'm not playing Hammer Spark in this specific deck, mainly because I did want to test out the blue Memory Boost, but I might prefer it to Hammer Spark. I think in this sort of deck where you really need the consistency, it's just a little bit better. Regardless, he is going to go slash Angemon, minus 8,000 on my Veedramon, unfortunately, and then that is going to die. And then now he is probably going to swing. So yeah, he's going to swing with the slash Angemon. Unfortunately, slash is extremely weak, only 8,000 DP. Despite having a fantastic effect, and then he's going to run into my Ulforce and just die. So that was really good because it prevents like a Valder arm from hitting the field, which is very, very, like, I don't want to deal with that card, and if he gets that off, I'll probably just lose. So I'm going to draw and suspend the tie, and then I think I should just go Vmon here, and then just build up into my Ulforce, because I do have basically everything required. Yeah, so I got the Veedramon 0 now. And even if I didn't, I could have probably went Rena and then like searched it potentially. So I'm just going to send the Memory Boost to try to get ahead, because unfortunately Veedramon 0 is a 2 cost. So if I just started with 1, I didn't want to go back and give him 1 and then he'd go to 3, give him 2 extra memory basically. So I'm just going to build up into my Arrow Veedramon. Now I'm playing Veedramon 0 because it lets you draw cards. Veedramon 0 I think has a very underrated inherited effect where you get to recycle 3 cards from your trash that are non-Digi Eggs and then just draw a card. It's also not once per turn, so if you have the number of cards in trash, you can resolve them multiple times and draw like basically every single time Ulforce attacks. And then I've got 3 Tamers set up, so then that's 3 extra attacks, plus I've got the Arrow Veedramon with the security attack +1. I currently have 7 cards, but I'm going to draw and then just go to 8. So my opponent is going to play a Pedomon, which is not good, and it's not gonna matter. Like, anyways, you'll see here. I did actually gain 2 more memory because of the Sora Joe, because Pedomon doesn't have materials. I'm just going to go Ulforce, and then I think I should just probably play Rena to get her attack boost first, because unfortunately don't have jamming on the Ulforce right now, because that's the other Arrow Veedramon. But I do want to put him to 12,000 in case I run into a Lord Nightmon security. If I run to a Valderarm, there's nothing I could have done about that. Like, I literally would have had to have the jamming. But if I run into a Lord Nightmon, that puts me at 12,000, so I can avoid dying to that. So I'm going to suspend Rena and then gain a memory from Ulforce. And then now I'm going to also draw a card. Now, I do have 7 cards in hand, so I kind of messed this one up. I should have drawn from Vmon first, and then drawn from Veedramon 0, and then from Upamon. So that would have gotten me 3 draws instead of 2. I'm still going to get, like, 2 is, like, plenty. But, yeah, so I could have done that differently and drawn more cards. So then I'm going to check 2 cards because of the Arrow Veedramon, and then, you know, Ulforce is unsuspended. I'm going to swing again with the Ulforce. Yeah, might as well. I'll just swing again with the Ulforce, and then get security attack +1, and then I'm going to suspend Sora Joe, and then rip 2 materials off of one of his Digimon, being the Nightmon there, and then technically Ulforce should become unsuspended right now. You'll see me do it in a little bit, but yeah, he'll become unsuspended because Sora Joe is a blue tamer, and then they become suspended. So then now I have an unsuspended Ulforce. I'm going to attack for his last security, and then this is why, like, it didn't matter that he had the Pedomon, because then now I have another attack. I can unsuspend Ty, and then he would block here, but then I just suspend Ty and, like, attack again. I had another Ty in my hand. So yeah, guys, that is going to be game. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.